All right, well, we finally got the compost dropped off. It don't look like a ton. It always looks like less than you think. So I really hope that, that this is enough to fill all the garden beds. Probably start with the long tomato bed because those will probably go in semi first. Hi guys. Because peppers and stuff will go out after those. So yeah, I guess now we just really have to get to work loading the beds up so we can get this garden season started. All right, so it's supposed to rain today. So we covered the rest of this compost with some tarps because we didn't quite get everything finished. Hello. But we did get some of the beds filled up. Now they still need to be topped off. So we have this bed here. We actually are going to have another shallow bed right here. Here is the tomato bed. These beds. And then we still have to fill this bed. But yeah, I'm really excited. And we still got quite a bit of compost, which is nice. So we definitely still have to top all of the rest of these off a little bit more. Our backs were starting to hurt though while we were wheelbarrowing compost in here. So since it's supposed to rain a little bit later on today, I'm gonna go ahead and plant some cabbage and broccoli in our small garden over here, which I'll turn you around so you can see that. So this is our small garden slash kind of a spring garden. And I just drove up some broccoli. Oh, they've tipped over, but broccoli, cabbage, and some kale. So what I did in here yesterday is actually got this little kit for row covers off of Amazon. So I'm going to use that to cover the broccoli and cabbage. For one, to help with pests. Two, in case we have any more hard freezes, which I don't think we're going to. And then to hopefully help with some sun protection if we do get substantially warmer days. So I'm just going to plant the broccoli and cabbage under here and we're going to cover it. I'll link these down below. They were actually way better quality than I thought they were going to be. This is still tarped over here. This is our asparagus patch. And we did have asparagus come up and it should have been a year to harvest, but really none of it was quite thick enough for us. But you can see, you know, they're going to seed and stuff like that. So hopefully next year we'll be able to get a good harvest. This area right here is going to be the extension of our asparagus. So we'll get that over here. And there's some pots laying around. We had this area tarped, but used this tarp over on the dirt over there. So we actually need to get this planted with asparagus ASAP. But I do want to get the broccoli and cabbage in the ground, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when I'm done. I forgot to mention, over here is an area that I heavily seeded just all different kinds of lettuces. So we can kind of have a pick as you go lettuce. Excuse you. Are you getting into stuff? I guess this got put up here so the grass could get cut. And he's not sure about it. I don't want you to cut yourself. This is, oh, hold on. Let me move this. All right, I moved that back a little bit. This is juniper, and this is taro. These are our, I guess, meat cows, if that's what you want to call it. They're sweeties, and they look so beautiful with their spring coats, don't you? What are you doing? What's he doing? Anyway, so I pulled all of the dead stuff out of here the other day. I actually just threw it over there. So I'm probably just gonna do herbs in here, but I just kind of wanted a fresh, kind of just get everything out of there and start fresh. I probably will put a scoop or two of compost on top. This one right here, this was oregano. I don't know if it's coming back yet. This over here was lemon balm. That is coming back. And then this one is peppermint and borage maybe. But I don't know if this is a weed or not. I gotta check on that. So we'll do that later. So yeah, I'm gonna get to planting this. Okay. This was the little lettuce patch. This is stuff we planted last year that came back. It was like some sort of broccoli plant. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it's already flowering. Hence why I got a row cover for this. So hopefully we can get a little bit of harvest out of broccoli and cabbage. And then I'm probably just gonna stick the kale over here in this corner. By the way, a free or very cheap idea for raised beds are just using logs. So we use logs all along here, throw a little dirt in there, and you've got a raised bed. So we're doing more of that over in the garden that has not been built up yet. But I will definitely show you guys. We're going to use logs over there to make some raised beds, just so I can show you guys. And hello, it's cheaper. But I'm gonna plant these and then I'll show you what they look like. So as you can see here, these have been needing to go out for quite a while now. And I don't know if we're gonna have enough time before they start to flower and stuff like that, but the worst that's gonna happen is they're gonna die. If I don't plant them out, I'm not gonna get anything. So I definitely want to get these in here. I'm going to get them covered to hopefully extend their life. This is the broccoli right here, as you can see. It's just been dying to get out of these pots. And then here is the cabbage, which is looking really good. And then we got some kale. But if I don't get any out of here, it's not a big loss. I planted my own seeds. We did it that way. And then really like broccoli and cabbage and brassicas do a lot better in the fall, so you can get them into kind of a cooler season. And so yeah, if I don't get anything, it's okay, because in a couple months we'll start new seeds and plant them again for the fall. So I do have, I'm sorry, I'm not coming over there right now. So I do have multiple, like about 2 in each. I'm just gonna go ahead and either pick the best one or separate them. So we'll see how that goes. So I don't know if you can see from here, but all those roots in there, they weren't really gonna grow anymore. They're just gonna get extremely leggy and then eventually die out if you don't get them out of these teeny pots. Their roots need room to grow down, grow out, so they can really thrive. I think I got stung by a bee. It hurts really bad. I got goosebumps. Ooh, I thought it was a splinter at first. Yeah, it hurts really bad. Ooh, hold on, I need a minute. All right, as you can see, it's a teeny bit crude, but that's okay for right now. I'm racing a storm, or rain rather, And I just wanted to get that on. So I didn't water these in because of the rain coming. And I wouldn't have had time to get this cover on before then. So I think it went pretty well, besides getting stung by a bee. So yeah, it's sprinkling right now. So yeah, hopefully that lets water through pretty easily, I'm sure, because I mean, if you look, but I'll check on them after it rains. Hopefully it's not one of these storms we've been getting. We've been getting hail like crazy recently, so I don't think it's supposed to do anything like that, but hopefully this stays on. As you can see, it was a semi-sail. Probably would have been easier to do with 2 people, but I'm actually really impressed with this setup. I'll link it down below if you have any interest. It was so easy. And you can actually make these hoops bigger. You just add another section to them. And I think I had enough for one more section of 4. But you can do sections of 3, 4, and 5, depending on how big you want your hoops. So, yeah, well, let's see how this holds up. I'll actually wait to edit anything until after this storm passes and just kind of see how it holds up. So I planted some kale over there, not all of them, but kind of I was racing against time. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this turns out and for these to finally be in the ground. All right, so I told you guys it was supposed to storm, and that's why I didn't water these broccoli and cabbages in. And hi guys. And it sprinkled and it never ended up storming. So I came through the next day and watered these plants in. While I was doing that, realized that water is not going to get through these. It kind of repelled water a little bit. Now I don't know if a hard rain comes through, if it'll eventually penetrate, but whenever I was watering them in, they did not. So let's take a peek at them and see if they're perking up at all. All right, so they're still a little droopy, but I might have to water them again. So we'll see. We'll just keep an eye out on them and kind of see how they go. And so sometimes these tarps or row covers come with like ground stakes, but I didn't want to poke a bunch of holes in this, so I'm just using logs and stuff. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on how these do in here. They all look a little droopy right now, so hopefully they come back. But if you guys know, over here is Persimmon and Sammy. Persimmon is going to be our future milk cow. So you guys have seen this little area they've been in. And Persimmon, she is 9 months old now. She is about to get a new home on the farm, a new place. And let me show you kind of what we're doing for that. Sammy will stay in here for a while. One of the main reasons we are moving her over is obviously there's no grass in here. I mean, it's just way too small of an area. And also, hi babe, Sammy has been sucking on her, and she obviously is not in milk, which can cause damage later on and potentially give her blind quarters. So we do not want him sucking on her. We also wanted to give her her own little pasture area, which we'll move Sammy over to eventually. Oh, their tongues are so rough. So what my mom and I did is made her a little pasture down the way. So let's go take a look at that. All right, there are dogs barking in the background because they're playing. So as you can see, there's the barn. There is the spring fall garden. Over here is Persimmon and Sammy. And then you see the other pasture area. This is our meat cow pasture, and we're gonna keep our dairy and meat cow pasture separate. So if you come over here, last weekend, my mom and I got these pink stakes, and we are going to be putting in electric fencing. So you can kind of see how it goes all the way down, goes into these trees a little bit, roughly, out here, all the way down, up, over, up. So this is going to be Persimmon's area, and right down here, let's see if I can zoom in. There is the solar for the electric fencing, and we just kind of put these out last weekend. We still need to run the wire around the area, which will be pretty easy. It's just the hooking up with the solar and electric we don't know much about. My dad or husband is going to do that, but this will be her whole area. And I actually cut this last weekend on a high setting because it was getting crazy long, but it'll be a great starter area for her. And it's a pretty decent size area. Obviously it's not going to sustain her for a super long period of time, but it'll give her more room and more grazing abilities. And then if you see back here, this goes back even further, and this is getting cleared right now. That area over there, that will eventually be another section of pasture for her or any other milk cow we have here on this farm. So that area is getting cleared, but this will be her area now. I think we're gonna try to get her in here this weekend, so that'll be really exciting. And these were super easy to put in. We just got these from our local Orschelns, which I guess now is technically Baumgars, I think is what it's called. And we bought 60, thinking we were gonna need 60, and I think we ended up using like 35 or something for the whole thing, which is actually really good. But yeah, really exciting. I'm excited to get her over here. We'll see. It'll be her first time in electric fence, so we'll have to keep a super close eye on her. But she'll be able to see the other cows. And then down here, so these two T-posts, this is going to be like where the gate is, where the, you hook up with electric fencing. And then if you turn here, like this is the shop, feed barn, lamb barn, where she's at, and then our view is over here. But in this area right here, or somewhere in this vicinity, we're gonna make the milking parlor for her. So this will be where we milk, and this is the gate we will walk her out of. Eventually we'll rotate pastures once we get all that cleared and seeded and ready to go. But we're keeping her separate from the meat herd. When Sammy is old enough, and when she is old enough, she and Sammy, we will try to breed. And then once we find out she's pregnant, we'll put Sammy in here with our meat herd. He is a brown Swiss, and he'll breed Poppy. Fern probably won't be big enough to breed. She's tiny. She's a month older than Sammy, and she's like half his size. So we'll get him to breed Poppy. We'll have to separate. Taro and Juniper will be leaving the farm in October. Yeah, but so we can keep going on with the breeding with Poppy at least. We might have to AI Fern. We're not sure yet. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you an update. So hopefully, maybe soon you'll see Persimmon in her new pasture. All right, well, I couldn't leave you guys hanging, so I thought I'd bring you over here before I ended the video to show you that Mrs. Persimmon is in her new pasture made with electric fence. We finished it, and she's loving it so far. She hasn't been in here too long yet, but I'll keep you updated on her. She did test her limits with the fence and learned real quick that she was not going to touch the wire. Anyway, it's super windy out here. I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.